What if time stopped? What would happen next might surprise you. You'd probably expect time stopping to be kind of boring. Because there, your thoughts will continue to stream by like a never-ending shopping channel. You'd still exist, but you'd be stuck in stasis with everyone and everything else around you. As described by physicist John Archibald Wheeler, it goes like this. In a thought experiment published in 1974, physicist Richard Feynman wondered if you could jump really fast, like light speed fast, what would happen? But as you approach the black hole, you notice the ticks getting slower and slower until finally they seem to stop altogether. In this case, the clock hands are frozen at exactly 12 o'clock. They'll stay that way until you get closer to Earth again, at which point the tick-tocks will begin again, speeding up until they match Earth time. In essence, this is just a clock measuring time near a massive object. In a vacuum, the flow of time depends entirely on gravity, whereas on Earth, the flow of time depends mostly on your proximity to the sun. Because of the latter, a day lasts roughly 86,400 seconds. A second passes roughly 86,400 times per year. But near a black hole, time slows so much that a day lasts thousands of years. A second passes once every few hours. Thus, if you opened your box to reveal Billy frozen in time, that's what was happening. You were close to a black hole. In his scenario, you and Billy put on lead-lined boxes and jump back to back. You would need to put on your spacesuits and do one final experiment. In 1971, physicists Stephen Hawking and Roger Penrose proved that black holes can emit radiation due to quantum effects, which means that black holes aren't truly black and they completely stop the flow of time. Their surfaces are called event horizons, and they're not solid, more like a sphere of influence. Once something crosses a black hole's event horizon, it can never escape, not even light. But Hawking and Penrose showed that just before crossing the horizon, quantum fluctuations allow particles to tunnel out, taking some energy with them. In essence, this creates a kind of black hole exhaust. By harnessing this exhaust, you and Billy could fire up your ship and fly away. But you'd have to hurry. Black hole radiation weakens as it loses energy. So once you're a safe distance away, you could remove your spacesuits and return to normal time. Inside the boxes, you can see each other, and when you both jump, you appear frozen. In this scenario, time has effectively stopped between you, but here's where it gets weird. If you open the box, you'll see yourself older than Billy. Why? Because to you, Billy has been standing still, so time hasn't passed for him. Meanwhile, time is passing normally outside the boxes, so when you open the box and emerge, you'll have aged relative to Billy. This thought experiment touches on the concept of gravitational time dilation. Proposed by Einstein in 1915, it says that time passes slower for objects closer to a gravitating mass. Technically, this is a feature of his general theory of relativity, but this version is simpler. And besides, general relativity is already weird enough without adding faster than light travel into the mix. You and your buddy Billy stand back to back and then simultaneously jump forward and turn around. Upon landing, you'll both see each other frozen in place, giving the appearance that time has stopped. The reason this works is that each of you becomes your own frame of reference. Your only point of comparison is your buddy, who is completely still. But there is one problem. For the illusion to work, you and Billy would have to jump so fast that you move faster than the speed of light. This is impossible. Nothing can move faster than the speed of light. This is one of the basic tenets of Einstein's theory of special relativity. The reason nothing can travel faster than light is that its mass increases as it approaches that speed. As an object gets closer and closer to the speed of light, its mass increases infinitely. Thus, it would require infinite energy to propel it any faster. Since infinite energy is impossible to muster, the speed of light remains the universal speed cap. Of course, that's assuming time stops in the first place. So far, physicists haven't been able to come up with a scenario where this happens. Time moving differently for different people is a popular trope in science fiction, but it doesn't hold up to much scrutiny. The most famous example is the TARDIS from Doctor Who, whose interior can pass time normally while its occupants are traveling through space at relativistic speeds. But the TARDIS doesn't actually break any laws of physics. Its passage of time is perfectly synchronized with its location. It just appears to be out of sync because its occupants aren't paying attention to it. You realize you're on thin ice. You need to get off this frozen pond before it breaks. You take a step back, but before you can shift your weight, the ice cracks. You flail and take in a giant gulp of frigid water. All the while yelling, "I should have listened to my dad and stayed off this frozen pond." This story follows a young boy who lives with his widowed father in a rundown house. His father, a former traveling salesman, has recently fallen ill and needs someone to take care of him. But the boy is too busy chasing girls and playing video games to help his dying father. He tells himself he'll clean up his life tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. And then one day he finds himself in a strange realm where the Grim Reaper gives him two choices: return home and make his father proud, or stay in this world forever. To pick an option, he must choose a door no, 1, or door no, 2. Boy, howdy, partner. Are you looking to get swept up in a rooting tootin', action-packed adventure? Well, mosey on over to my website where I am currently whipping up some wild tales that lines leave ya in stitches. There's something for everyone, from heart-pounding mysteries to side-splitting comedies and everything else in between. Nothing new would start happening, but existing things would keep going until their energy was expended, at which point they'd freeze in place. But that assumes time stops flowing only at the human scale. What if, instead, time stopped at the quantum scale? Here's how that could go. First, let's cover our bases. When I say time stops, I mean it stops everywhere except inside your head. The thing is, time wouldn't stop for you specifically. But there's another popular idea for a time-stopping scenario that doesn't involve leaving Earth, namely the Fisher effect. So, if you can't jump faster than the speed of light, the Fisher effect won't work. But what if you could? Imagine a clock sitting on Earth, its tick-tocks measured against the flow of time near a black hole. From afar, the clock seems to tick normally. There is one way you and Billy could make it out alive. The question is, would you do that? After being stuck in a box with only Billy for company, that is. For more on this topic, check out 10 mind-blowing facts about black holes or watch this video instead.